Welcome back, guys. So, CodeVita Zone 1 Round done, right? And I genuinely hope that all of you may have done really, really well, and all of you get a call from round 2. Okay. Now, this time I've heard a lot of things about Zone 1 Round. People have started comparing CodeVita with Google. Why? Because the questions were really, really hard, or so they say. But worry not, because we'll be solving all of these questions, and we are starting with Constellation. Okay. Now, before we move on, I just have a notice, an important announcement to share with you is that as an add-on to our codings, we will be coding, but as an add-on, because since we're expanding really, really fast, I'll be sharing a few tips and tricks that help me clearing my in my PPOs or getting my PPOs right. I'll be sharing those, and I will also tell you which kind of question might come or might not come, so you have an idea of what to prepare in the sea of all of these information, right? So do subscribe, because we are going to upload a heck lot of things very soon. So let's start with the problem description, and with us we have constellation. Okay, so three characters, hashtags, asterisk, and dot, represents a constellation of stars and galaxies in space. Each galaxy is demarcated by hashtag characters. There can be one or many stars in a given galaxy. Stars can only be in the shape of vowels, a, E, I, O, U. Okay. A collection of stars in the shape of the vowels is a star. Okay. By the way, this is the first question, right? I always say one thing. First question is really easy. Don't complicate it yourself. Okay. A star is contained in a 3 into 3 block. Star cannot be overlapping. The dot character denotes empty space. Given 3 into 1 matrix composing of hashtag, asterisk, and dot character, find the galaxy and stars within them. Note: please pay attention to how vowel A is denoted in unit 3. In a 3 cross 3 block in example section below. Okay, so I think I have removed my example section, but worry not, because I'll just show you how they looks. Okay. By the way, since the question have already told us that we will be given with a 3 cross n matrix, the question becomes really, really easy. Because all the vowels are contained in a 3 cross 3 block. Okay, so let me just tell you how do vowels look. Okay, so I'll just draw an O, because I have actually erased that part of examples. So by the way, this is an O. I think it's fairly obvious that this is an O. That's really easy to understand, right? And this is an U, right? Not that hard to understand. The only thing that you might actually find a little bit difficult to understand is the A, and let's see where the A is. Okay, so this is their understanding of A. Let me just draw it. So an A will be like this: dot, star, dot, and after that star, 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 and after that, sorry, it should be star, dot, and star. Okay, I think that it looks like an A. To me, at least it does. So this is our example. I'm not focusing a lot on it, because the patterns are really obvious. But don't worry, we'll be drawing it right now. Okay, so this was a question, and after that, let's just move on to the inputs. The constraints are pretty decent: 3 into 10 to the power 5. If you want, you can solve it in n log n, but don't go up till n square. Okay, so but don't worry, we'll solve this in n order, because this question is really easy. So input consists of a single integer n denoting number of columns, because the row will be always 3, and this makes the question really, really easy. What if sorry, the question would have been a lot tougher if instead of a 3 cross 3, the shapes could be denoted into an in an m cross m matrix, and the galaxies of n cross n. Then the question would have been actually a lot tougher and a lot more interesting. Okay, but this question is really, really easy. So let's move on. Input consists of single integer n denoting the number of columns. Okay, great. Output contains vowels, stars in order of their occurrence within the given galaxies. So in the order of their occurrence, keep this in mind, not sorted order. Galaxy itself is represented by hash characters, so we have to also show a galaxy. Okay, so this is an example. They have shown us that there are total 18 columns in this. So this is a 3 cross 18 matrix. Okay, and after that, we are just supposed to find a pattern. So this first three lines, okay, these just show these show that this is a U. Okay, and after that we have simultaneously we have a hashtag in all of these all of these next column. Okay, so when we have an hashtag in all of these in all of the column at the same time, we'll just denote it as a galaxy, and we'll just mark it as hash. Okay, and after that we have O, after that we have hash, and after that we have what I, and after that we have hash, and after that we have E. It's not mandatory that vowels will be separated from with the help of hashtags. Okay, it can also be occur, it can also happen that all the vowels, they have all the vowels are one after another, so they are not separated. Okay, and dot will the main purpose of dot is basically to uh, you don't have to print dot. Suppose if my if my galaxy was like this, if we have 1,000 dots also, it doesn't matter, because we are not supposed to do anything for dots. Okay, even though they are not, but if they were, we were not supposed to do anything. Okay, so dot are just to differentiate between the vowels. Okay, I hope you get it. So let's start with the coding round. Okay, sorry, let's start with the coding. Okay, the coding is really simple. Firstly, I'll take the number of columns that I have, right? And don't worry, I'll just tell you what I'm supposed to do, but just give me a second because the question is really easy. I don't need to tell you anything in advance. When I just start coding, I'll tell you about it. Okay, right now I'm just taking an input temp equals to input because since this is a complete string, so I can just take an input and I'll just get a complete string, and after that I'll append this in my A, and after this I have my what? After this I have my all the inputs, and I have this my galaxy. Okay, so what I am going to do is that since I know this is what this is a 3 cross n matrix, right? I know that, so I don't need to worry about anything. Sorry, I don't need to worry about the number of rows. I just have to worry about the columns. And even in that, the question is really simple because the question has already stated that the stars, sorry, the the vowels, they will be always be in a 3 cross 3 form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just check a few things. I'll just check that if all of these if all of these characters are all of these dots. Okay, if they are or if they are dots, then don't do anything, just move on. Okay, are all of these hashtags? If all of these are hashtags, then just do one thing. Append a hashtag in your answer. Okay, great. Otherwise, there are only three possibilities. Either it's a val, either it's a dot, either it's a star. Sorry, either it's a hashtag. Okay. So if it's not a hashtag, if it's not a dot, then it's supposed to be val. Okay. So now how will I found a val? Val. I don't know why people have started, using multiple loops one inside another. I don't know why they did it because you are complicating it a lot yourself. Why? Because you are trying to find a logic that may not even be there. Okay, so the only thing that you are supposed to do is write a little bit of code, and not that also, you just have to write two lines, and after that you can just copy and paste and make a few conditions. That is what I'm going to do. How? Because all of these patterns are different, so what I'm going to do is I'll just check all of these 9 coordinates at the same time, and I'll check which pattern are they referencing to. Since we have only 5 vowels, right? We only have 5 vowels, so we are only supposed to check them for 5 values. Okay, I'll just show you how will I do it. So sorry for that. So this is my answer, right? This is my answer, and I'll use a loop till the time while I is less than n. Why? Because I'm going to change I. I want to change I very freely, very independently. If I do for I in range this, then I might have to define a way like plus plus or plus 3. So that is why. But this way I am just very independent with my I. So that is why I'm just using the while loop. Okay, let's start. What did I said before? Firstly, I'll check whether the first line is sorry whether the line in which I am, whether it's a dot, sorry, whether all the columns at that particular index are dots. So how do we check that? Simple. We know that there are only 3 rows, so we'll write a0i, a1i, and a2i. Okay, and after that, just give me a moment. Okay. Sorry, after that, if this is a dot, then what do I do? I told you, if there's a dot, you don't need to do anything. Just do a simple thing. Just write. Sorry. No, by the way, increment your I. Sorry, increment your I, and after that, continue because after that, I think I might get into an infinite loop. Okay. So after that, don't do anything and just continue. I plus equals to 1. Why is then error? Okay, sorry. Yes, done. Thank you, Python. Okay. Otherwise, if this is not the case, then what can be the case? What are the different possibilities? After I told you that if this is not the case, try to check another thing, that is that do we have hashtag in all of these lines? uh, Now I have already checked for what I've already checked for sorry I've already checked for dot, so now I'm checking for hashtags. If all of these sorry, if all of these column at that particular row, sorry, now if all of these rows at that particular column has hashtag, then what are we supposed to do? The question mentioned it. I'll just increment a hashtag in my answer, right? And after that, I'll increment my plus, sorry, my I, and I'll just, sorry, and I don't need to even continue also. Sorry. So now comes the main question. Now comes the, finding our patterns. Hashtag A, sorry, we have to find all of these, right? Hashtag E, hashtag I, hashtag O. So I'm just writing a code to find all of these patterns, and since there are only what 9 grids that define whether whether a particular what kind of val it is, so that is why I don't do much. I just I just try to write my code, And how do I write my code? I'll just show you. So I'll just give me a second. Okay, so firstly I'll be checking a few conditions. Okay, firstly I'll check a few conditions. What are my conditions? The condition will be this. This is a boundary condition, which most of you people might have gotten wrong, and then you might have gotten a segmentation error or runtime error. Okay, I plus 2 is less than n. Why am I saying this? Because a val is is represented by a 3 cross 3 matrix. Okay, so suppose you have a galaxy and it has 3 rows, which is fairly obvious, and you only have what, 2 columns. You only have 2 columns. So it's not possible that you can present a star, sorry, a constellation, or a symbol, a val in this 3 cross 2, in 3 cross 2 galaxy. Is it possible? It is not. So that is why I'm just checking. I'm just checking that since I'll be looking further up to two spaces. Sorry, I'll be looking further up to two spaces. If I'm currently at 0, then I'll check at 1 and 2. I'm looking at all of these three places at the same time, because with the help of only these three places can I find out that at which that which cell it is, sorry, that which val it is. So that is why I'm just writing this condition, because if even if now, if we have 18 columns, right, and I'm currently at what, 17 columns, and my last line sorry and my last sorry if and my last line is something else. So I need to check that whether that whether 17 plus 2, right, 19, is 19 less than n. Because if 19 is not less than n, then I am accessing a memory that is not allocated to me, so it may give me a segmentation error. Okay, that is why I'm just taking this condition, if I plus 2 is less than n. Okay, this is just a base condition and a boundary condition, just to be on the safe side. Okay, now let's start our main part. While you are doing this, don't slack off. Why? Because this is the main part of the code, right? So I am how is my a supposed to look like? Let's look at this. Dot star dot. Okay, so my first line is supposed to be like this. Dot, and after that we have our star, and after that we have another dot, right? This part is really important. Why I am saying this again and again? Because sometimes you just get a little bit of overconfident, and you actually make these mistakes again, these simple mistakes again, right? So that is why I'm just telling you, don't get so much of overconfidence, and try to be a little bit of calm and gentle and smart. Okay, oh, just give me a second. This 0 dot. Okay, I'm so sorry. This should be 0, and this should be I plus 1, and this should be what? This should be I plus 2. Okay, and this should be 0, because my row will be 0. My row will be 0, and I will moving up till, sorry, I will moving in the columns, right? That is why in this line my row is 0. My row is 0, and all of these parts are in the same row, but the columns are changing. So that is why I'm just writing this. And after this, again, my row will change. My row will become 1i, and after that sorry 1i plus 1, and after that 1i plus 2. Okay, so I'll just write the same part again. Just give me a second. I'll just copy this. I'm just trying to find a pattern. AI, and after that we have A2i, and after this we have A2, and after this we have A2. Okay, I think I'm done with this. Now I just need to write a pattern for what looks like A. Okay, so I think I know what looks like A. This point should be a star. This point should be a star, and this point, this point was supposed to be another star, but this point was supposed to be dot, and this point was supposed to be dot. This point, it is a star, and this is also a star. Right? This is a A, right? I think this is A. You can look at it, and I think it's pretty good looking also. Okay, so this was my else's condition, and this all these condition match, then I know that this is an A. Increment my I by 1. Okay, I hope all of you have gotten what by now what I'm trying to say, right? So now my code will just like a little bit of copy and paste. Okay, so A, and after this I have my V. Now sorry, for E, what are we supposed to do? Let's remember, for E, what are we supposed to do? uh what was the pattern of E? I think we all know the pattern of E, and it is really simple. Just have all of them as a star, right? Don't make any mistakes, because this is the I think if you have figured out what we are supposed to do, then this is the only part where you can make where you can make a mistake, right? Now don't do that. Okay, so for I, we have this. I hope you all remember how I looks, right? We all have studied nursery. So this, and after this we have dot. Okay, this looks like an I. Okay, great. Now what we have an O. O is my favorite. Why? Because in this all of them are stars except for the center part. They are a little bit distinct, so why don't we take the advantage of this. I know some people might have already thought of counting the stars and after that checking which kind of pattern were there, but some vowels have also same number of stars, sorry, same numbers of yes, stars, so that is why you can't just exactly use it like that, and that is why I'm just comparing it with this. Question wasn't meant to be very tough. I always, if all of my CodeVita hacks videos, I've already told you this again and again that the first question will be the easiest. Don't try to complicate yourself. But if people have complicated it, then they will definitely spend a lot of time in these questions. Move on with this question in less than what 5 to 10 minutes, and after that, give that time to some different questions. But I don't know why you were just so much afraid of writing this a little bit of code, because this is all just copy and paste. I did not do anything else, right? But even if this question people have gotten a little bit wrong, then sorry, if people have gotten even this question wrong, then I really recommend them to solve a little bit of more question on implementation based. Okay, so after this I'm done. I'll print my answer bus. Sorry, by the way, I think I made a mistake. Okay, now in all the vowels, the I will be incremented by 3, not by 1. Sorry, by 3? Yes, by 3. Why by 3? And why not by 1? The reason is very, very simple. Since, when I'm checking for a vowel, I'm checking for all the 3 grids that are ahead of him, for all the 2 grids that are ahead from him. So if I'm at cell 2, okay, and I find a pattern. So my pattern will be in 2, 3, and 4 grids, right? Now I will start from 5, so that is why I'm just incrementing 2 plus 3 so that I can reach 5, and I can just start from 5, and I'll just make my iteration a little bit faster. Okay, great. Even if I don't do this, what will happen? That particular condition, it won't match anything, and I'll just move forward. But still I'm just since I have not given any else condition, but since I'm just making it a little bit fast, so that is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, now let's try to run our code. I'll just copy the this what this example. And by the way, I think there were some spaces due to I thought that it was due to some sort of formatting issues. So I just removed the space. They were in between, and if you have space, then you can just remove them using either you can just create a list of characters and you can remove them also. Okay. So I don't know if there was space or not. I thought there was, so I thought it was a formatting issues, and I just removed the spaces. Okay. If you want, you can just create a list of characters, right? And after that you can just split them. Now let's start. I run my code. Okay, no errors. Okay, now we have errors. Okay, firstly I thought the input was a little bit different. Okay, sorry. Okay, so firstly we have what 18 columns. After that I'll just print this hash u hashtag o hashtag I hashtag ea. Yeah, exactly the output u hashtag o hashtag I hashtag ea. Perfectly working code, right? Great. Now I'll just copy my example 2. Let me run my code. By the way, how many columns were there? I didn't see it. 12 columns, right? 12 columns. Enter. U hashtag I hashtag A. U hashtag I hashtag A. So did you see how simple that was? This constellation problem, really. So I really hope that you had done it, because this question was not that hard, and you just were supposed to write a few lines of code. If you were if you had successfully improvised it using some for loops, that's great. That's great. But what was the need of it, right? The only thing that I did was just change a few conditions, and boom, I have my answers, right? So this was the approach for constellations, and we are going to upload all the answers very soon. So stay tuned and do subscribe, comment, and like and share. Okay, so thank you.